Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy Sunday. Oh, the dogs are visiting already. I hope everyone's had a good week. If you'll let me know how you've done in the chat below and let me know if the feed is okay. I'm surrounded in wool and excited dogs. The second I hit start, they'll get all excited. Um, yeah, if you let me know how your week's gone, I believe it's Palm Sunday, and the time's different again today because British clocks have changed, and that totally took me by surprise because I didn't realise it was going to. Sharon, am I on? I can't get you on. Yes, I've just started. Hopefully, hang on, I'll just check and see if I can get that up on my screen to see if I'm actually here and working. Let me know if it all works out. Um, how's your week been? Anyway, how's everybody's week been? What you've been up to? Good news again. My mum's shop that we've been talking about. Yep, I'm working. There we go. So hopefully we're up. Sorry, I was a teeny bit late. I was just watching my friend Drew at British Cook. He's live just now as well. So I just nipped over to watch him, and he's doing the most revolting thing, but it's working out well. He's making a milkshake based on what everyone tells him to put in it, and it's surprisingly working well. He's ignoring the people that said onions, which is good, and it's got Ben and Jerry's and Oreos and all sorts of things in it. So I was watching him and I got a bit distracted, so we're on. Hopefully it's all working now. And today we're gonna, after a little bit of a hello to everybody. Oh, Mia's very cuddly today. I don't know if you can see she's got her paw up on my hand. She's giving me a little snuggle. Today we're going to be having a look at Nails by Sharon, her Facebook page, also onto her Instagram, and because Sharon is a Patreon of mine, if you don't know what that is, I think there's links in the description below, but it's just like a kind of supporter thing. It's a little extra community that we've got going on. So because she's a Patreon of mine and she's also a YouTuber, we'll have a quick look at her YouTube channel as well. Samantha Jane's here. Hi Samantha, how are you doing? I hope the stream's all working okay. Yes. Loves my fur baby. This is Mia Cat McFuzzylugs. Excuse me. And she was actually the reason I started my YouTube channel many years ago. Mia was actually my foster dog. I didn't need or want another dog, but she came up for foster and I had to take her in. So I ended up fostering her and failed horrifically. She stayed with me. She's a wee love. She's a bit crazy. She hates most other dogs, but she's really good with people, and she is a bit beautiful. She was 10 this week, and wee Ben, my other dog, he turned 11. So they're getting a bit elderly. She's getting a bit grey in her eyebrows, but I'm getting a bit grey myself. So Sharon's got us. Fantastic. I'm glad it's all working now. Like I say, I was running a bit late myself, so hopefully we've not missed too much. What I'll do to start with, if I can find it. Oh, people messaging me and all sorts of things. Just gonna see if I can find it, just for a quick nosy first of all. Sorry, I'm clicking on stuff here when you can't see because I want to. Here we go. Right, I just want to quickly show you my dog's birthday pictures and then we'll get into what we're supposed to be doing. So yeah, just a quick aside, absolutely nothing to do with what my channel's about, but it was my dog's birthday on Tuesday, so we took them down to the beach and just did a wee bit of a photo shoot. And this is Mia being a poser. She's wanting more attention here. This is Mia being a poser. I just wanted to get a shot of them both with their paws on the log because I thought it looked really pretty. So I told them to put their paws on the log and she took that and ran with that, as you do. What have we got? This is my wee Ben. Like I say, it was his 11th birthday. Elderly gentleman. You wouldn't guess by how daft he is, though. And Mia again looking. Every time I stick the camera on her, she's very good at looking wistfully off into the distance. She's like a sort of gothic emo model or something. Or if I do manage to get a good picture of one looking good, then the other one always pulls daft faces. So yeah, managed to get Mia with her eyes shut there. Typical. Me just being artsy there. And like I say, Mia looking off wistfully into the distance. She's just so cool at doing that. She'd make a great model, I think. And I think that's the final one. That was just a wee walk. It's a little beachy area I've got beside the River Clyde. It's only about 10 minutes from my house, but I only found it last year, I think, so it's a lovely place to walk them. And thank you guys. Yes, I agree. I think they're adorable too. They're good company. Okay, so yes, that's my dogs, and that's what we've been up to. Yeah, I can't remember if I just said, I meant to say, before we get started, I just want to do the whole awkward high five thing to my mum's shop. If you don't remember, we've been starting from the beginning of the year. We started a brand new shop just to see if you can get a new shop to rank, and she's had another sale already. So I think that's 4 or 5 sales already, which I know to some people won't sound a great lot. But I think even with my shop, when I first opened it in 2008, I got about 4 or 5 sales in the first year. So a lot of people say, oh, you can't rank nowadays, it's far too difficult to rank. But it really isn't. If you know what you're doing, if you're strategic about it, it's actually easier now than it was then, or it certainly has been for us. Okay, so let's get on to Sharon's page. Like I say, now if you're looking for me to have a look at any of your Facebook fan art pages or review your Etsy shops and give a bit of help with that, or anything else, then if you head over to Pam's Felting Friends on Facebook, there's a link in the description below, and then there's some threads there if you post into the pinned thread at the top, and then I work my way through them so we can get a look. And also it's a great community. So we're going to have a wee snoop around at Sharon's work. I actually met Sharon a few months ago on YouTube, first of all, and then we got chatting, and she's just started up needle felting, but she also makes, as the name suggests, miniatures and more. So let's have a wee nosy round her photos. And a little alphabet book. That is very cute. I like working in small scale, but I'm not neat enough for things like that. I'd love to make more kind of doll's house things, but I'm just not neat enough. I know what that was. That was your gnomes book. I think it was Serafina. I'm going to say you need to post more. Not at all, Sharon. I know you're just building up to get your shop opened and everything. No, it's your page, and there's a lot of good stuff on here to look at anyway. And you did say there's more on Instagram. So a fan page is a very different thing. It's not like a shop or whatever. It's, you know, building up your followers, and just do that. Do what you need to do, and once you start your shop, and once you're busier there, then I'm sure you'll start to post more anyway. Yeah, the gnomes book. It was Serafina, wasn't it? I think she was doing someone was doing a gnomes tutorial, and they were talking about this book. Yeah, Serafina had the book on her channel. They were talking about the book to show gnomes and everything, but it also helps to get a bit of scale and stuff. I thought her gnomes tutorial was fantastic. I love the armature for more humans. I've never done kind of human armature. Not that gnomes are exactly human shaped, but I really want to give a go at her gnome tutorial sometime. That looked really cool. And then we have a little hat. That's awesome. I can't even imagine how you begin to go about making a hat at that scale. I did once make little tiny gothic shirts for little dolls. What I was doing, I was making a shirt for my partner at the time. A big frilly shirt to go with this kilt. I love the more frilly sort of gothicy shirts for that. And just as I was messing around with the pattern, I decided to cut it in a small scale and made them for, you know, the little posable art dolls. So I made one for that. So I found that great fun, but I don't know how you'd go about making a hat. It looks very cute. And we've seen this Teddy in progress. He was great, but I think the glasses just really make him so much. I'd never actually even thought, I've got so much wire lying about the place, so I never thought to make the glasses out of wire, but it just kind of finishes him and makes him totally individual. Oh, the hat fits on the little teddy bear. Fantastic. What have we got? These tiny little cross stitches, are they? That's fab. And then a little chick. Amazing, I've not actually made a chick apart from the 2D one that I felted on Wednesday. I've never made a chick yet. It really is something I should get onto. These little flower earrings, little roses as well. Yeah, I love the, yeah. I'm assuming these are like, I don't know American coin sizes. I was going to say they're like an old 5p, like a 20 pence size. I suppose that's about a quarter, maybe. But they're pretty little about. That looks pretty awesome. Um, very fiddly to do. And yeah, I've been wanting to have a look at this one, the sleeping fawn, which is fantastic and lovely picture. I see you're saying you're trying out your light box. I think that's fantastic photography with the little tiny apples. Oh, you hand wove the basket and did the apples as well. That's fab. But the deer's fantastic. The fawn. It's such a common thing just now, and I love it. All the sleeping animals. Again, I haven't tried a sleeping animal. Gonna have to try it, but everyone's doing sleeping bunnies, sleeping mice, sleeping fawns. I've got to do something completely different. I think like when I've got time, a sleeping lion or a sleeping tiger or something. I have to confess that I I still have a lot of orders. I just had another big chunk of orders, so I've got 12 orders waiting, so that is why I don't have time to try little flights of fancy just now. As you'll see on Thursday, I was starting up on the giraffe, the World of Warcraft giraffe that I've got an order for, and I've got a few others I'm in the process of making as well. And the cross stitch charms are an inch. Yeah, that's kind of about the size I was thinking. Very tiny and fiddly, so great job. Uh, Pumpkins. Everyone loves pumpkins. Pumpkins are so much fun to make as well. You kind of can't go wrong with them, but everyone has their own unique additions to them. I found adding the curls just adds a total whimsy to them, but yet little needle felted leaf on them as well is very cute. And I think we're almost there already. But it's cool because we've got other things to see. A fawn in a different photo shoot. And with needle felted apples, fantastic. They must be tiny. It's hard to judge. It's so hard to judge scale of needle felted things actually, because I used to always look at needle felted, people's sculptures and things, and I was always jealous of how smooth they managed to make them, until I realised that I was photographing some of the things at the time I was making were about an inch, and people were photographing things that were like a foot or two. So of course it's going to look smoother because you're further away when you're photographing it. Alright, so that's pretty much Sharon's Facebook page. I have links to that in the comments, so if you want to get over, in fact I'll put a link up here now as well because I can. So everyone who's here wants to get in. Did that? Oh, that didn't seem to work. Hang on. But if everyone goes over and checks her out, it's lovely work, and you do need to. Yeah, that worked. Do need to get over and see her, but absolutely, Sharon, add more stuff as you make it, because people are gonna start wanting to follow you and love seeing what you're making. I think your photography's spot on, which is the most important thing. Yep, the apples at the last picture were needle felted, and the other ones were polymer clay. We are not done with you yet, Sharon. So, like you said, your Instagram is better. Um, I haven't really got the hang of Instagram yet. I have to work more on that. But we look, and here's the hats and the teddies and everything. Oh, a little flock of chickens, a little load of chicks. I love this fluffy guy. He is fantastic. He is great fun, and the normal yellow chick's great too as well. But that little guy has such character. That's fun. And what else? And this is the apples in the basket. They are great. What did you make the basket out of? I'm fidgeting here. I've got so many orders I have to be making. I'm going to felt while I'm talking to you guys, because I know it's going to freak out some people the way that I needle felt in the air as well. So we're going to be doing danger felting while I'm talking. Yeah, so what did you make the apples out of? Not the, what did you make the basket? I know the apples are polymer clay. I haven't had enough sleep. The clocks changed today, and I didn't realise. I thought they changed next week, but I got it wrong, clearly. So last night I was up a bit late and I was watching a movie, and when it finished and I looked, and I was like, how is it after 2 in the morning? How did that happen? And then I realised that I didn't realise till this morning that it was because the clocks had changed. I thought, I don't know, alien abduction or something. Floral wire and hemp to weave the basket. Ah, that's really clever. I'm going to have a try at doing something like that. I have a ton of florist wire lying about because I'm using it for armature sometimes. So firstly, that's a wee armature. Can I remember to flick to my own face? Hang on. So, just made a wee armature for a tiny dog. This is going to be a cockapoo. Alright, let's see what we've got next that's different here. Close up of the flowers. That is really intricate. One of your first polymer clay creations. That is fantastic. And Fimo effects is too difficult to work with. I have never used Fimo effects. I used to use Fimo a lot when I was a kid. We used to make little badges and things with popular bands at the time, and sell them to my friends at school. And I think I made elephants and pig badges as well. With regular polymer, with regular Fimo, but I've never tried Fimo effects. But it's tough to condition. Actually, I do find a lot of them are really quite. It takes forever to condition. I've seen people use pasta machines to condition the clay. Once you get it slightly going a bit, you just keep passing it through the machine, and that takes some of the at the thickest setting, and that softens it up a bit. It's so hard to get soft it killed your hands. I can totally understand that. I've found some colours of Fimo just by itself, some of them can be really hard to get going. In fact, it took me forever to realise that you were supposed to condition the clay. It wasn't till I started seeing YouTube tutorials. I used to think, this is terrible, this is all crumbly, and I would throw out some of them when it was crumbly, but then I realised that you just need to condition it a bit. And these are lovely koi fish. That's lovely detail. Again, that's something I really want to make some more of. Well, some more of. Want to make some fishes. But those are really nice. I especially like that light blue one. There's some beads on it and darker blue, and it looks kind of iridescent in the picture. Is that just shading of whites to blues and everything? But very nice. And I have to say, I totally love the picture. The photography. You've got glass beads to show it like bubbles, and the paintbrush coming in. Very nice. Yeah, I can't. I totally love that photography. Sharon, you did get a pasta machine for the clay. Yeah, that's good. The people I've seen using it, it just looks awesome, so much easier. I had a pasta machine for ages, but I never made pasta. And another one of those things, I think I throw them out or pass them on, and then just as I do that, I realise that um, I could have used it for something else. But you live, you learn. Don't throw stuff out. But my house is tiny, so I have to. Let's see what's next. This is the felted apples. Just a quick aside. So that's me wrapped my armature into an H shape for the dog, and now the bit that takes the time is I'm going to felt away at him. So let's back to Sharon. Oh, the blue one is the blue one isn't yours. You were inspired by it. Well, you were inspired really well because, to be perfectly honest, I thought they were both yours. The work is pretty much a similar level, but that I can see why you were inspired by it. The photography was great and everything as well. Let's go back to what we're supposed to be talking about. Honestly, I thought they were both your work. Um, so well inspired. Yeah, but let's have a look at your actual work now. I mean, obviously, I always love purple. I think the only difference when I said about the shading and the colours, if it's iridescent, I think what that artist's going to have done is before baking it, just shaded the tips with a little more blue in like a pastel, like a chalk or something, and that's probably what's given the effect there. But I think your fish is really lovely too, and I think their eyes are going to be like hand painted in acrylic or watercolour or something. So that's a really good idea. I I can see I'm kind of inspired to have a go at that myself. I'm sure I've got some polymer clay somewhere, so when I've got a few minutes to myself, I'll give a go at that. On to the apples. So there's a YouTube tutorial for how to weave the baskets. I will be checking that out for sure, but it looks awesome. And needle felted apples to go with it. I think the apples look great because I know that scale is going to be so tiny that's going to be fiddly, especially to have got the leaves. They look fab. So great job there. What have we got? We've looked at the pumpkins. We've looked at the deer. These are cute. A little Christmas ornament, a snowman and a pink owl. I think kids are so funny with the random things they ask for. A pink owl, but he turned out great. I think they're like hanging ornaments for the tree or something. I think felting is great for hanging ornaments because it's just so light, and if you make something and want to make it into an ornament, you can just felt a bit of wool onto it, go in with a needle and sew a bit of thread onto it. It's such a forgiving medium. The stems on the apples would be hard. Yes, of course. They're totally tiny and fiddly. Yeah, I can appreciate that. I found the stems on my pumpkins were quite fiddly, and my my pumpkins were about an inch in size. Oh, I think I see a hummingbird. That's lovely. Using curls to make the wings look, it's almost like they're blurred out. That's very cute. And I love the colours. I would always usually go for purples, but the green and yellow works really well for that. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, awesome, and a great use of curls. and a polar bear. He is cute, and I love the shading around his nose and in his ears. I think you've done really well there. Yep, he's cute. I made polar bears a few years ago. I had for an exhibition at the gallery. I was in a gallery for a little. Samantha wants the basket video as well. Hang on, let's go back. Where did I put the basket? Here it is. Can I open this? Is this going to work? Nope, that's not where I wanted to be. Certain. Let's see if we can find her on YouTube. That's not the page I wanted. Oh, I think I found it. Right, I've got the sound off for this. Let's see. Is this a tutorial? Oh, this looks good. Hang on. So I'll pop that up. And everyone can go over to that later. I think, right, I don't want to watch too much of that to spoil what she's doing, but looks like a really good video. She looks like quite an impressive YouTuber as well, with 23,000 subscribers. But I just want to watch this start bit a wee bit. Oh, I've got to have a go at making some baskets, right? So we're all going to be making some baskets soon. That's really cool. Okay, where had we got to? Oh, I missed. How could I miss a purple owl? Like I say, anything purple, awesome. I love the expression. You've definitely got a wee style yourself for the owls. They are fun. And if anyone sees anything that particularly stands out to them as well, remember and shout out. Yes, Sharon, I'm totally going to be watching a lot of Caroline. Certainly Caroline as soon as we're done here, pretty much. Snowman ornament. He is cute. I love his massive smile. I haven't actually made many snowmen yet. I have to get onto that. What I've always wanted to do. Does anyone here read Calvin and Hobbes? If you do, you'll know where I'm going with this straight away. But Calvin and Hobbes is a comic, is a cartoon, and I used to read them in a friend bought the newspaper, and I used to read the newspaper, and it had Calvin and Hobbes in it, and then people started buying me the books of the artwork of the comic, and it's sort of, each book goes through a year of Calvin and Hobbes. It's a little boy and his toy stuffed tiger who comes to life when there's no one watching. I sound insane when I describe these things. I randomly, going off on the side, I'll try and remember and come back to this. But once, many years ago, I was going for a job interview and they wanted us to give a presentation, either on something work related or anything that we wanted to. And I decided for some reason to give this presentation on Terry Pratchett's The Discworld, without realizing how insane I was going to sound giving a presentation about a flat earth on the back of 4 giant elephants that had magic and all sorts of things. It was certainly a strangely brave thing to give a presentation on to a room full of scientists, but I had half of the room totally knew what I was talking about and were beaming like idiots through every word I spoke, and the other half of the room thought I was insane. So yeah, so back to Calvin and Hobbes. It's the little boy with his toy tiger that becomes his pet tiger, and in the winter season he always makes these totally macabre snowmen scenes of, like, you know, snowmen sinking into quicksand or being murdered by dinosaurs or all sorts of things. And I really wanted to make these things in real life, but I don't have the patience. And when the snow's here, it never seems to be the good snow for making snowmen. And I thought I could do Calvin and Hobbes needle felted snowmen. I thought that would be so cool. I just haven't had time because Christmas is my busy season. Oh, thank you. Thank you. At least Samantha and Sharon actually know what I'm talking about with Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah. Yeah, Sharon, I haven't had a newspaper in years. It was just when I was at university, which was 20 years ago. A couple of the guys in the halls got the newspaper, and they would always, like, when they were done with it, give me it for the cartoons. So it's 20 years since I've seen it in the newspaper, but people bought me the books, so I have Calvin and Hobbes books, which are awesome. I just think he's hilarious. Yeah, there's my first crazy Scottish tangent of today's live stream. I was gonna pass this by going, there's a picture of some cups. What's that about? And then I just seen it's sleeping mice in cups. That is great fun. Is that your mug collection? That is cool. It's quite a geeky, quite a fun mug collection. But the little mice in the mugs. Oh, hi Shannon. Loves the snowman idea. I'm so gonna have to do it. In fact, we're all gonna have to do it once. I was gonna say at Christmas time, but that's for any artistic people. Christmas time's gonna be super busy anyway. But sometime towards the end of the summer, someone remind me, and we'll do Calvin and Hobbes snowmen together. We'll do a project on that, because it's the good thing is I couldn't make them to sell them. You can't make copyrighted creations to sell them, but you can make them for your own personal use. So we could do a tutorial on that. I'll have to figure out, there's got to be a way that we can do a kind of felt along together. I think if people use Zoom, I think that's the name of the thing. If people use the Zoom app, then we can sort of all chat and felt along together if anyone wanted to do that at any time. That sounds like a whole bunch of fun. Although we'll probably stab our fingers and everything else for the felters anyway. And Magdalena, hi there. Not late at all. I totally understand. As you know, I was watching Drew as well. I was nearly late here myself. Like I said, for anyone who's new and missed it, my friend Drew, British cook, was doing a crazy cooking challenge where everyone in his chat was suggesting what he put into his milkshake. And when I left, it was sounding awesome. There was Ben and Jerry's, Oreo cookies, peanut butter, cream, vanilla, and coffee. So did it get any more crazy than that, Magdalena? Was there anything else in it? Sharon's husband made her a mug for the wall for all their crazy mugs. That is so cool. And it looks like he did a great job. Great way to display them. I wish I had DIY ability, then I could show off all sorts of things. And Samantha got several of the books for her children years ago. I don't know that they're good for children. There's a lot of subversive stuff in there. It's definitely very adult, but also it's the cool thing, isn't it, with some kids things? They can see it for what it is as a wee kid with his tiger, and then we can see it for a lot of the more dark humor stuff, but it is so funny. And Shannon doesn't do felting but love watching. But you could do it in clay. Awesome. Even good. Great idea. Wouldn't it be cool to all do it in different mediums? We're going to make, yeah, we could make Sharon do it on nails, do it in nail art. I know you can needle felt as well, but we'll all do it in different. Sharon in nail art and Shannon in clay, and everyone doing it. Everyone doing it in a different medium. And it doesn't sound crazy at all watching felters when you don't felt. I watch a lot of different crafts that I don't do. well, not even crafts. There's Alex Steele, who's a blacksmith. I watch him quite avidly, because it's just fascinating watching him making creations out of iron, putting it in the forge, and the power hammer, which is bonkers. But all this stuff, it's just so great to watch. And also, I watch Lofty Pursuits. If you haven't seen that, it's American, so I'll say it's a candy making place. They do lots of traditional boiled sweets and rocks and lots of things. But I just find it really sort of relaxing to watch people crafting, even on stuff that I'll never do. And also you can get ideas for doing different things. Like I might watch someone make something in a totally different medium, like we're talking about doing the Calvin and Hobbes snowmen in clay, or so. You watch something in one medium. I mean, my idea for doing my dragon in the first place was I'd been watching clay tutorials of people making dragons in clay. So yeah, it's totally understandable that crafty people like to watch crafty things, even if we can't do everything. I know some people do try and do everything and have like, looking at you, Mum, but have like rooms full of lots of different craft stuff, and some of us just stick to one thing. What did Drew do? He topped the smoothie with berries and sprinkles and asking for a name, but it does sound too sweet but good. Um, oh, he's still on, but you don't want to miss my feed. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. But it does sound good where he stopped it. But I agree, possibly a little bit too sweet. I Ice cream and a smoothie, good. That's why I suggested the coffee, because I love if you've got something that's a bit sweet with a lot of chocolate in it, a bit of coffee and vanilla. Lost the ability to talk. A bit of coffee and vanilla just makes it that little more bitter and grown up and complex tasting. Wow, I really can't speak today. So you guys are getting to see the raw. Right, this is me when I'm filming a normal video. I can do 5 takes to say one sentence and pick the one that works. But here I'm stuck with having to actually just say the thing in one go. It's so hard to speak sometimes. Shannon's into dark humour. Absolutely. You have to be with Calvin and Hobbes, but that's the best kind. I love all these kind of things when you read something and you're like, and then slowly it's like, ah. And the worst thing that I only just found out a few months ago, I remember when we were kids, the joke was going about, and I don't know how old it is, how long it's been going about, but as kids we used to run around and say it to everyone because we thought it was the most hilarious thing. It was, why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. And we thought it was hilarious because we thought it was ridiculous. I only just learnt that that was actually meant as a dark joke. I feel so bad. Sorry to anyone. It shouldn't offend anyone, but I always feel I have to say sorry. But it wasn't until someone had put it and they said something like, one of the darkest jokes of all, why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. And then I thought about it and thought about it, and it was, so that's like been 30, I'm making myself younger than I am. That's been 30 years in the making of me going, that's a hilarious joke, and then, ooh, that's dark. So I hope everyone gets what I'm meaning there. I love the old Addams Family comics. Oh, I have to look them up. I love the Addams Family. I love the old TV show and the movies. I was going to say the recent movies. They were like 20 years ago, weren't they? But the movies with, what's the name of the people? I was going to say Morticia. Her name is not Morticia. no, I can't remember. It's totally gone. But the more recent movies were fantastic. I mean, obviously, I loved Wednesday Addams, and still do, and that's why I did the the 2D needle felted piece on Wednesday. If you haven't seen her, that was taken from a piece of fan fiction that I found online, and it turned out surprisingly good. I shocked myself. So I'll have to look at the Addams Family comics. That's a new thing for me. Metalsmithing, poly clay, sewing, jewellery making, and now for the last 3 years felting from Samantha Jane. That's you in the have a house full of crafts. Yeah, I totally understand that. I nearly went that way, but I would sort of try crafts and not get anywhere with them. The only one, oddly enough, was the needle felting. I tried so many other things, done a little bit with them, but for some reason I just started felting and I stuck with it. Angelica Houston, thank you, Shannon. That and Rule Julia, thank you so much. Yes, that's who they were. That's who I was thinking of. I could not say Angelica Houston. It's amazing how you just get stuck and can't think of them. I could see them in my head, the pair of them. I think they're the best. And Sharon has an Addams Family cross stitch. Fantastic. That sounds cool. I have done cross stitching quite a bit, but I never seem to, I very rarely finish them. I've had a very beautiful dragon cross stitch on the go for, again, a good 20 years. I've got to get that finished. It is a lovely cross stitch, but I I have to finish it at some point. It's just finding the time to do that. I always get distracted and go off and do other things. Look for Charles Addams, and one of your girls would love an Addams Family cross stitch. You'll have to share a picture of that. Let us see that sometimes. Forgetting names and things happens more and more as you get older. I think I've always been a little senile at remembering things. I can't blame age for it, I'm afraid. I wish I could. Right, distracted. Anyway, the mice are super cute, and it's a great idea to have all the mugs displayed. It makes a great backdrop for displaying pictures, for displaying your crafts as well. See, when I'm visiting my mum at Christmas, she has a beautiful dresser with lovely plates that I can photograph things against, which just look fantastic. Unfortunately, I don't have many. Not many. I don't have any beautiful areas for photography in my house, so I have to go with a light box. Where are the mugs? Ah, somebody got a load of Serafina stuff. And a mug. Awesome. I haven't seen them before. Ah, they were Serafina chicks. I should have known that. Yeah. How have you found, I see at the bottom this is her, I can't remember what you called it. I'm doing this not being able to name things again, but it's the tool for winding stuff round and stuff. I've seen her use that and she just makes it look so easy, but I just kind of like, I wrap around my needle or my fingers or stuff that is lying about. I don't like having too many tools, to be honest, because as you can see, right, when you watch my videos, I'm sitting under the camera in my felting, in my studio space, which is a tiny area of my kitchen. But that's not how I usually felt. I'm usually propped up on the sofa, putting on box sets. So I couldn't film my normal videos like this because I already get complaints from people about the felting in the air, but the felting in the air while talking to the camera is just going to freak out so many more people. But as I'm just sitting here on the sofa, and I've got some drawers and stuff at my side. Oh, nicely dropped that. I've got some drawers at my side, but I don't like too many tools sitting about the place, but I have been interested in her tacky wrap and the bunny butter and all these different products as well. But I've never had any problem winding stuff on wire. I've never needed it to stick, but I have been interested to see what that kind of stuff's like. But unfortunately, it just costs so much to get it shipped to the UK just to see what it's like. And I see also the case for a Stabbit Wabbit. I just wanted to say Stabbit Wabbit. Um, it's a cool name. I think wherever possible, things should have rhyming or daft names. Zuli Tool, thank you so much. See, what would I do without you guys? It's really easy because you can watch your videos and do it with her. Yeah, absolutely. I do try and felt along with her. I just find because I like to felt fairly firmly, I have to pause her quite a bit. But I love how she does it. It's like magic shapes. Whereas I'm felting and squishing for about 2 hours, she just makes a shape, sticks it on, and she's done. It's amazing. But we'll have our own different styles, and I mean it's cool. Like when I started, she wasn't on the go, so we didn't have that kind of magic style there. We were all making up our own style. So I think it's really cool, and she's inspired so many people to start felting, which I think is cool. Your husband complains you have too much stuff. You're a true crafter if people are complaining you have too many crafts. It's the law. Shannon, when I was into making lots of fairyland type creatures, I created a woodland scene, can't speak, in a cardboard box for photos with bark, moss, etc., and a painted sky. That sounds awesome. You'll have to share pictures of that. That sounds cool. And it's a great idea to have a decent backdrop for things. I'm trying to think what would be good for little dogs, but I don't know. I'd thought of just getting like printed papers with pictures of things. I did once make like little kennels and stuff. I'll have to think about that. As I've got the gorgeous little collars which I need to review. They're through in the kitchen, else I'd show you them. But yeah, I could set up a little scene for the dogs. I should get onto that. That does remind me though, one time for my art exam when I was a kid, I was making, it was a circus, no, a zoo, that's it. I was making a zoo and I wanted to make it all in one big scene. So what we did was took my parents' headboard and cut that to shape and built the zoo onto my parents' headboard. So I made lots of clay enclosures. So I remember there was like a dolphin enclosure with dolphins swimming in it and lots of animals and stuff. And then I built it all on my parents' cut up headboard. So yeah, I used to do things like that. So yeah, I've really got to look into that. That would be so cool to have a kind of dog themed little area that I could photograph my dogs in. I'll have to think about that. I do have an actual doll's house somewhere up the stairs that I thought it would be great for setting up for staging things, but my dogs some of them are getting quite a bit bigger than doll's house scale, and also it's quite difficult to get the lighting right because it only opens from the front. Although I've got some so cute are the little lights that you can put in dolls' houses, chandeliers and table lamps and things. I'm gonna have to try that again for some of my littler dogs. Yeah, Zuli tool, and the tools she has are awesome. Yeah, I think Serafina is genius, like marketing genius, in that she saw things that she could use, and she uses them so well that you watch it and you think, I want that, I need that, and it totally helps, and they're such a good idea. So Shan, yeah, if you get a picture, that would be awesome. Thank you. The headboard sounds awesome. I bet it didn't when my parents had to go to bed. But I really wish I got that back. I can't remember what happened to it. I think it was because it was for the final exam. It had to go in for marking by experts or something. I can't remember. It was many years ago, but it was fun. A dog park and a fire hydrant. Oh, this is great. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm thinking, how do I make a dog park scene into my little tiny space in my kitchen? I don't have much space in my house. Yep, Shannon. Oh, they're not even battery operated. They're actual the doll's house lights. I sort of have the house wired up with lights. And I think because I've got a better camera now than when I first had it, I think I can adjust the settings a bit, and that could be pretty cool. I just have to make some more to scale dogs, because I mean what I've got just now are like these guys, which are, they would kind of scare the life out of any doll's house residents. It's the 1:12 scale, so I think this kind of size dogs are about right. So I'll when I've got time, I'll work on some more of them, and yeah, I'll set up the doll's house. But I love the idea of a dog park with fire hydrants and trees and like little mounds of mud that they're digging in and stuff. That sounds so cool. Yeah, we're sorry, Sharon, we keep getting distracted here. It's me. I'm very terrible at keeping on scale. Another a polar bear a polar bear keychain. He is very cute. You definitely have got smiles spot on. I think the smiles are so cool. This is a penguin, a lovebird. Ah, I didn't know what lovebirds look like. A baby lovebird. My friend has a lovebird who's laying eggs and made a nest. I thought she wanted a baby, so I made her one. That is so cute. Slide to see the real. Can I slide? I don't know how to slide. I don't know how to use Instagram. Oh no, I clicked to the side and we got some more sleepy mice. I've many times watched the Seraphina's Sleepy Mice tutorial. I have to give it a go sometime. I love their feet sticking up. They're ever so sweet, and I want to do the bunnies as well, make extra big feet. I can't remember if Seraphina did that or I just imagined that she did, but I think using the same basic tutorial, you could make that add the ears bigger, obviously, add bigger feet, take away the tail. I think it would be an awesome bunny. Right, that's my next plan. What have we got? Oh, this is adorable. A panda memo holder from a kit, but that's very nice. Oh, it's on a cake. Super fun. Instagram slide is only sliding if you use a phone. That makes a whole bunch of sense. I have an Instagram account, but I've never got the hang of it. I really should work on it more. But it sounds terrible, but I thought of it, I think of it as a place for good pictures, which all yours are, Sharon. So I wanted to take beautiful pictures from my camera and then go into Photoshop and edit them to be absolutely stunning pictures. And then I went to put them on Instagram and they're like, nope, you've got to put them on from your phone. So to do all that and then upload it somewhere so I could download it onto my phone to put it onto Instagram didn't sound very instant to me. And I didn't want to just take snaps with my phone. I mean, my phone is terrible nowadays. It's up for renewal in about a month, I think. So hopefully I'll get a better one. But I wanted beautiful pictures, so I haven't got the hang of Instagram. It's exactly the same for any of you that are on Etsy. The Etsy on sale app lets you put up pictures, but it's only an app on your phone. So again, I don't want to put up subpar pictures onto my Etsy account to show what I'm doing. I would prefer to put up really good pictures, so I'll get around to that. Another owl. I love the style for the owl. And toadstools. That's actually it's totally random, but I was just thinking yesterday, people have been talking about the pom-poms that I've been making before, and I was thinking I'll have to have a go at making a pom-pom toadstool, because I think that would work really well. And also I want to, something I'd thought of before, but I hadn't had time, but with this giraffe from World of Warcraft, I'd wanted to be doing nerdy needle felting games and geeky stuff. So with this, it's just like put me in mind of it, and I just thought like the Super Mario Brothers, the mushrooms and everything, I thought it would be cool to make some of them, and like the fly trap type plants. And then when I started thinking of that, I wanted to do Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors and do all things like that. So I really want to get time to do all of them. Sharon uses her phone for everything, and Harley uses my computer apart from making a video. Yeah, I think most people are like that. I just, because this is my sofa and this is my computer, so it's so much easier for me because I've got it set up like this. I mean, it's just the computer box is just in a corner. The actual computer is just in a corner of my sitting room, and I've got everything sitting here. Because I just live by myself, it makes it nice and easy. Like, I rarely watch the telly. I'm just playing around on the computer. Pom Pom Toadstool sounds cool. Yeah, I don't know why it just popped into my head, but I just thought to myself, like, I was just walking the dogs and it just popped into my head that I might be able to make that. I think it was because I'd been doing the spots on the ladybird or ladybug, and I thought, well, I could maybe do the spots and that would make a nice toadstool. And I was just thinking how I could make the stem, and also how the strands of the fibre might make the kind of, don't know what they're supposed to be called, but the kind of fins underneath the mushroom, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm going to give that a go. Totally. Love the Audrey idea. I'm glad that this is so cool that you guys know what I'm jabbering on about. So I'm totally, totally impressed with that. Thank you. Sheepy keyrings. That is cool. So that's like needle felted, and then with, is that cut wool on top? I'm trying to figure out how that's made, but that is really cool. What's it say? Fiber fleece needle felting. Yeah, but it's cute. Do love the pink and the little bow tie. I am right with gills. Thank you. I'm not going insane. Thank you, Shannon. Alright, where are we with this? Oh, panda keychains. Something I'd meant to do keychains ages ago. I don't know why I hadn't done them, but I think keychains are such a great idea for needle felting because it's so easy to attach the keychain to them. I just felt a little bit in. They're so light that it doesn't get in the way of anything. But also, I mean, needle felted things are fairly robust. I mean, it'll get mucky if you use it for ages, but keychains, whatever they're made of, they break, you know, they don't last forever. So it's an awesome idea. There was a shop many years ago that used to do beautiful, it was sculptures of people's dogs, just the head as a keychain, but they were so gorgeous and so intricate I would not have used them for a keychain. I mean, that must have taken her like days to make. Just, it seemed too much for a keychain, but lovely little things like that, they're perfect. More sheeps. Happy sheep. Everything you're making here, Sharon, has a total smile on its face. Very cute. And they are adorable. A kit on Etsy, but a sheep, a panda, and a rabbit. They are very cute. And mice. I wonder where you got the idea of that. No, I remember talking to you at this point when you were making these, and I think it turned out really great. And I love the addition of the little extra feet. I didn't put feet in my tutorial because I was never sure right at the beginning how much a beginner could do, because I was a beginner such a long time ago. And then when I worked with Cassandra, and literally she made a bowl and then went on and made her dog. And I realized that, yeah, people can do way more than they think they can in a challenging project, and like little legs and stuff, that's not a challenge. You're all capable of doing that. So I'll be making my beginners projects more difficult. Sharon loves smiling animals too. Absolutely. Wherever I can when I'm making a dog, I'll see if they'll let me make the jaw open with the tongue hanging out a little bit to make them happy. For a first attempt at the mouse, that's fantastic. Great job. And it still has the smile there. That's fantastic. I'm never sure what kind of size these are. See, I'm terrible. When I follow along with Sarafina, I always follow it kind of half size. I rarely make things as big as she makes them. I always like making littler things. And it's even when I've got knitted patterns for like knitted animals and stuff like that, I always half size them immediately. I always just make them smaller than they need to be. Shannon wouldn't use intricate things as keychains for fear of breaking them, but people buy them. Exactly. I mean, she was charging fairly. I was going to say charging a lot, but no, she was charging fair because that was a lot of work. And yeah, people were buying them. I mean, I guess you could buy them for just for decorative purposes. Another thing that would be really cool for that I thought about was bookmarks. If you've seen the ones that have the sort of metal on the inside and then you hang beads down the spine, so when they're in the bookshelf, the bookmark, the pretty bits hanging out. So that would be a really cool idea for any really intricate bits. Yeah, I mean to do that sometime. Oh yeah, I did do a tutorial for the attaching keychains. I totally forgot about that. And your daughter has a Jack's face as a brooch. Fab. I love making the Jack's faces. It was when I first started on Etsy, I didn't know about the copyright laws and stuff, and I made quite a lot of Jack Skellingtons and was selling them. But then I found out that you can't do that. But I do love making them. It's actually it's a surprisingly easy project when you're starting out because you get an idea of how to sculpt things and stuff. Another owl. Your first ever needle felted project was an owl, Sharon. You did a great job for a first try. I'm always ashamed by my first make. It was fairly terrible, but I was proud of it. And then I see all these new people coming in, and like your first makes are better than my make after 5 years or something. So great job. He is really cute, and I can see you definitely have a wee thing going on there for owls. Quite rightly so. Very cool. Hey, awesome. So I think yeah, we've done Instagram. That was cool. Thank you so much for letting me have a look at that. And now, as I say, little extra because Sharon hasn't been felting for very long and just to open her shop, but also she has all these all these different things. I think it definitely helps everyone who's been artistic and worked in other things when they come to needle felting or anything. They're really really good at it already. I think the nail art probably, and everything else you do, Sharon, but I think the nail art probably helps with the felting in that you're used to intricate things that take time. I think a lot of people come to things like needle felting and you expect that it's going to take like 2 minutes and you'll have something done, but no, you sit back and you work away at it. So, as I said at the beginning, I first met Sharon through her YouTube channel. I can't remember, were you on, was it Darlene's? I can't remember where I found you from. Or it might have just been because I was looking for penguins, because I was making penguins at the time. But we met each other there. If you haven't already, head over to her YouTube channel. Did that work? I think that worked. Yep. And also, if you don't know, anyone who's got a YouTube channel here, if in the chat you hover your mouse beside their name, there's like three little buttons, three little dots that come up. If you click on that, it says go to channel as well. So you can go and check anyone out as well. Obviously, not immediate. Well, it pops up in a new window, so you can pop them up and then go back to them when you've finished listening to me, because I'm not going to chase you all off yet. But this is Sharon's YouTube channel, which is Nails by Sharon, which is fab to see all the videos. We'll pop into video. And Sharon's at 225 subscribers. So if anyone is interested, don't just subscribe to people just because. We all need active subscribers. So if you're gonna watch her stuff, then give her a wee subscribe. Let's see if we can get her up a wee bit as well, because I think she deserves it too. And I'll stick this on just quietly just now, because this is the first one that I saw from Sharon, was the nail tutorial for making penguins, because at the very same time, I think probably, I was going to say it must have been running up to Christmas, but we were doing it in the middle of August, which is random, but I was making penguins myself and obviously came up across her making penguins. So let's click this on a wee bit, because like I say, I don't want to watch all of somebody's video and then you don't have to watch it. But I find nail art fascinating to watch. I used to do a lot of things with my nails, but I've been very lax with it lately. But totally will get round to it. But yeah, here Sharon has loads of great nail tutorials. Let's click you on a little bit. My computer's running slow just now. See, the same problem as me sometimes when you're making stuff to remember and get yourself under the camera. But how cute are these little penguins? And little snowflakes. I can't remember how you made the snowflakes. Was that hand drawn or a stencil? I could go back and look, but we've got Sharon here, so we'll ask her anyway. But I think the penguins turned out so cute. And they're just such a cute little bird. Shannon's got to run, so thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. See some of your older clay things if you go to a channel and look for a video called Land of Nod. I totally will do that. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if I can pop them out just now. The snowflakes were stamped. That's a great idea. They look great. Looking for a video called The Land of Nod. Shall we see if we can find that right now? So hold on a minute there. Land of Nod. See if this is going to come. I think we found it. Yep, that's Shannon. This little choir boys. That is fantastic. The penguins were done by hand. Yep, I saw you doing them. They were awesome. Oh wow, that giraffe's great. And British Cooks here. Hi Drew. We were just talking about your concoction. So are you on a sugar high now? How did that go? This is British Cook. This is Drew, who was making the Oreo Ben and Jerry's. That basically he was making the diabetes in a cup. So, but it did sound good actually. How did it turn out? Yeah. So just now we're just watching some of Shannon's early clay work, which I think is fantastic. That is a great style. It's something racy. That's me demonetized. That is a whole bunch of fun. I love them. But yeah, so everybody, rather than me sitting watching people's videos, again, professional YouTuber and all that, this is the video if anyone wants to see it. It will be up. We now have chat replays as well, so we won't lose that link. Wow, tiny. I didn't realise they were that small. Yep, so they are awesome, but it's Nails by Sharon's Day, so let's see the end of this. They were Sharon's nails with a gel overlay, but you've cut them down since. Yeah, they are mega nails. Mine get to, well, they've been getting a little bit longer since I started eating ketogenic, if any, well, keto, because that's a kind of high fat diet, and I found my nails grow a lot longer, and I sometimes even have to cut them, and I don't just break them by being clumsy. But yeah, that length, I would probably literally, you know, people say, oh, you'd have an eye out with that. I would probably literally have an eye out with that. I am super clumsy, so I couldn't have nails that long, but they are awesome. I think you did a great job. Let's have a nosy at another video while we're here. Oh, that sounds cool. A decal. Is it decal or decal? Do you watch Simply Nailogical when she used to do when she used to do nails before face, and she'd always be like decals or say it weird. So I'm never sure how to say it. Michael Daniels, welcome. You saw Drew's sweet tooth concoction. Yeah. Yeah, it was impressive. No, I was going to say I'm going to try it, but I'm really not, because when I get a tub of Ben and Jerry's, I eat a tub of Ben and Jerry's. So, so yeah, totally not. But it was actually sounding good. I thought when I clicked on to start with, we were going to have some kind of revolt and sludge. So, Drew, I think you did well taking into account everyone's preference while still not making something too disgusting. Oh, rhinestones on the nail. Now, Sharon, I've thought these kind of look pretty, but can you do anything when you've got stuff stuck on your nails? If you know what I mean. I've always got my fingers in my hair, pushing my hair about, and I worry that these things would be stuck in my hair all the time, or get, like, if you're trying to cook or something, it would be absolutely revolting. It's decal, right? It's not. I can't say it the other way now. Decal. Okay, thank you. That's me too. I am in love with those skull decals. I will have to, right, when we're done here, I'm going to have a look and order some of those, because I've got an event coming up next month. If my couple of broken nails grow in a bit, I think that would be awesome for, yeah, I'm going to look out for them. So thank you for that. See all the rhinestones. Is that, if you're saying with acrylics, is that like, again, I've forgotten how to speak. Is that like acrylic over the top and then set it? But I might try that on a nail or two when I've not got too much to do. That sounds fun. But I'm definitely going to look for those skull ones if they're still about. They are beautiful. And as we've all spoke about how we have slightly dark humor, and you guys know all the nerdy stuff that I know. I have beautiful. Thank you. They're okay. They're nothing like Sharon's nails, but you see, we'll have to, if there's ever a YouTube convention that we all get together with, then we'll have to get Sharon doing all our nails. But I think that's going to be a long time coming. I see all the conventions in America and stuff, but there's not much in the UK, so I think the stuff down in London, which is probably handier for Drew. Drew's down in Cornwall. I say handier. Cornwall's still miles away from anything, but still a trek for anything. And I do miss being able to visit Cornwall. You use gel and put gel around the sides to seal them, and they don't come off. That sounds cool. Yeah, because I do think they look cool. They look cool in a small amount, like you've done yourself. But some people do crazy things with their nail, like doing the, what do you call it, the aquarium nail or snow globe nail, where people like build up their nails till they're about an inch high. And I just, well, obviously they're ladies and don't pick their nose and do anything disgusting like that, but it seems too much. It's like you're disabling yourself with putting things on your hands. But I think a little bit of rhinestones or something on one nail. Sharon, it's a shame you don't live closer. We could totally totally do a collab with, I don't know, you doing my nails and I'll give you a tutorial or something. Or yeah. Or in fact you could just cuddle the dogs while my nails are drying, because that, do you know, that's the kind of thing, since I've had dogs, when you're doing some kind of nail art, you're doing something complicated, and then what happens, that the dogs need out and suddenly you smudged all your nail art. Michael Daniels, super chat. Thank you so much. You are my first ever super chat. Guys, if you don't know what that is, it's like a tip jar that Michael has been so fantastically lovely to leave me a little tip. So thank you so much. He doesn't think he'll do his nails. Oh, it could be a thing. Everyone in our little gang, you know, we all have the. I'm thinking, well, the skull nails might work, not floral skulls. I actually dated a couple of guys that used nail polish for a while. Goths, not transvestites. But have I just totally demonetized this this stream? But yeah, I've dated a couple of guys that used nail polish, and they were actually better than me at putting it on. But not nail art. But anyway, I'm fascinated with these flowery skulls. I am getting some of these, definitely. Yeah, Sharon, aquarium nails go a bit too far. I totally agree. Let's see if we can find some of these. If I can spell aquarium nails, so we can all be like, what on earth? Oh, and if anyone's on Etsy, I meant to say about this. My YouTube people will know what this is, but can you see how I've got, like, it's talking about the search volume and how much ads cost on this, but the search volume's popping up when I'm searching for something. I'm getting this pop up at the side telling me how many people are searching for this. And this works in YouTube, but it also works in Etsy. And this is a plugin called Keywords Everywhere. Am I using the right thing? I have to remember what it's called. I have to remember what it's called, but it's a wee plugin and it works on Etsy as well. So if you search for something, then it'll pop up at the side and let you know what the search traffic for that is, what the search volume, and then that gives you a really good idea if it's a good search to have. So it's telling me that aquarium nails gets 4,400 searches a month. And yeah, let's look at some of the worst ones here. I think I've watched this one before. Oh, excuse me, hiccups. Let's see if she shows the nail first. Nope, so we've got to skip to the end. There, I don't think that's even some of the worst ones, but they like build up the sides and then put a fake nail on top and then fill it with oil and sparkles and stuff. It really looks weird. It's kind of cool, but weird as well. Yeah, I think you can see this. Yeah, it kind of moves inside because there's liquid inside. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Michael. So everyone, like, don't forget, everyone can go over and check out Michael by clicking on the 3 dots and going over to his channel. Just give him a bit of love and a bit of thanks for dropping by and supporting creators, which is pretty cool. Let's stop watching this and go back to Sharon and these ones because I love these. Pop near the end. Yes, I will totally use your code, Sharon. 10% off. But no, I will totally use your code. Of course, I'm going to support you if I can there. I think those nails look fantastic. I love the silver as well. I had some chrome type polishes for a while, but oh, and they are your proper stiletto nails going on. Danger. Fantastic. That's a great job. Right, I think we will pop back into my ugly mug so I can pull out all the things and actually see what I'm doing here. So just for anyone who's thinking about needle felting, you can see I've been gabbing here and felting for about an hour, and this is just, which way to do that? This is just starting to firm up and take shape. So needle felting isn't quick. You sit and do what you're doing and just enjoy a bit of peace and quiet time. I enjoy it because it is that kind of slow, non-rushed craft. But I know if you watch some tutorials and things, you think, oh, it takes 10 minutes to do, and it really doesn't. But that's where I've got this felting in the air type technique from, because if I didn't do that, if I had to be sat hunched at some table, I wouldn't be doing the work that I'm doing. I like to just better sit here and do nothing. So yeah, stick a box set on and felt. And you see we've got the legs folded under. The next thing I'll be doing, but I won't be doing it just now because I think we've got to call it a day pretty soon because I've not made my tea yet and it's 6 o'clock. But I'll just be evening out the length of the legs, and then we'll be folding this into a curve and then a bend for the hock, and then I'll build up the thigh muscle, and then we're nearly there with the body. I'll probably have the body done by this evening. Maybe, in fact, I'll probably have the body and the head, the whole thing done by the time I get to bed tonight. So yeah, it takes a good 3 or 4 hours to get everything done. But anyway, guys, so thank you all for joining me, and thank you so much to Sharon for letting me have a look at her Facebook page, her Instagram, and her YouTube channel. If you haven't already, remember and check them out. I have links below, and we've got links in the chat. Which side's the chat at? Links in the chat, which will be showing on the replay as well. Yeah, so, and remember, if anyone wants me to look at any other stuff, you want to come along to the Facebook group Pam's Felting Friends, and I've got some threads there where you can post up your links, and I work through them in order that I come across them. Sharon got a little bit of an extra feature because she's a Patreon of mine, so I like to help the patrons because you guys are helping me. Well, Sharon, you've been a great support, so I like to help you out here where I can. And I believe she is just in the process of opening her Etsy store, so we will have a look at that once that's up and running a wee bit as well. And remember, come back every Monday, Wednesday and Thursday for my videos. I've got some exciting news this week for my needle felting videos. I don't want to go in too much of it yet because I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say, but it's it's a needle felting company has given me 2 exciting new things are going to be happening, and I think the first one of them should be in the next week or so, so keep an eye out. But Mondays we do creative marketing. That's marketing advice if you're selling creative things, especially on Etsy. Wednesdays my needle felting reviews. I think I'm going to stop with the Maker's Box and get on and finally do that hedgehog mohair review. I've been waiting to do that for weeks. I can't believe I've been so restrained. And Thursday we've got some more work on the giraffe. I've got really far on with him. I think he's looking awesome. awesome. So don't forget, come back for them. And as they're the pre-recorded ones, I cut out all the gibber and all the awkwardness and all the being able to say the words. So much more slick. Come back then. But guys, thank you so much for all joining me. Michael, thank you so much for the super chat. Good to see everyone. Don't forget, pop over, see Drew's cooking, go and see Nails by Sharon. All the links, I'm sure we'll all be off basket weaving little tiny fairy baskets. But thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you next week.